Hello, this is Daryl at 10 Foot Truck Good Attitudes Services. Today I've been negotiating, I have a move booked. I'm negotiating a contract, and there were like about 4 different junk removal jobs that were available. Unfortunately, they're too far out of my range. So there's still some work coming in for November. The weather's still good enough to drive the truck around. So I'm happy about that. So I'm negotiating this one contract, or it's a possible contract I'm looking at, but unfortunately I've gotten these type of contracts emails before. I've had several of them, and sometimes they're vague, and so I need to go back and make sure I get all the details before I even put a price sheet out, because I need to know everything about what I'm dealing with, the company. I want to look at what I'm going to be delivering, the dimension, the size, the weights, how it's going to be loaded, unloaded, the mileage, and then of course what are the times and the days that are going to be they're going to be needing me, so it doesn't get in the way of my other schedules. A lot of times I don't take these type of contracts that I've been presented before, because I really want to have my schedule open, as flexible as possible, so that I can accept my customers, the jobs that come through. I don't want to get tied down to a specific schedule on a contract. I've had some of these come through where they're like, they're requiring like 5 days a week, and a lot of driving for transporting cargo. Also, another thing I want to ask, that I always ask, is about insurance, and like what requirement for cargo insurance, how much they need, because if the items that I'm transporting are extremely valuable, I need to have a specific type of insurance, which is going to cost a lot of money. So you got to factor that in. There's a lot of things you got to factor in. So I have to go through all that. And first I want to take a look. I want to get a really good idea of what, specifically I'm going to be, because a lot of times they'll say we need this delivered. We need a pallet of this delivered, or without really giving the specifics, because weights can be a big difference. It could be like engine blocks or something really heavy, or something, even though it's on a pallet, it could be a ton of weight, where you have to factor that in with gas mileage and stuff. So you always want to factor in that and get all the details of the dimensions, the weights, and all that, the type of things you're going to be bringing, transporting, because I can't transport hazardous materials. I can't transport chemicals. A lot of these things I can't transport. I don't have that license. So if they're vague like that, you have to find out, is there any chemicals involved? All these things that you want to get as much detail as possible before you ever even consider pricing a contract or negotiating a contract. So, and I like to look at their website and see what kind of company they are, because just to get an idea of what I'm dealing with, and who I'm delivering to. So when I get these emails and they're very vague, I get kind of a little worried, because I want to make sure before I ever get involved with working for somebody to know the details. It's the most important thing, so that I can decide if I'm going to do that or not. And because I've been through a lot of this, I've had, I can't count how many contracts they wanted me to do this 3 days a week, transport this to there 3 days a week, 4 days a week. It just never worked out for me. I prefer having a free schedule for my moving, junk removal, and deliveries, unless it works out financially. If it's if I'm going to make if that money that I'm going to be making is worth it to do that, have that schedule and still have those other days open, then that's fine. But I really have to get through all that, so I'm going to have to write that all down and email it. So I'm doing that, and then I'm working on talking with another business that I'm dealing with. So a lot has been going on. A lot of it's been just paperwork. Sometimes that's a lot of it's just what the paperwork. You spend a whole day just doing emails, ideas, marketing, advertising, back and forth, text messaging, negotiating for jobs and that kind of thing. So today that's what it's been, and probably tomorrow too. The jobs aren't going to be towards the end of the week. But it's still busy. It's still doing pretty good so far. November, and this November is actually like the last November. That's kind of why I do these videos. because I also talk about how the weather is that day, because on this day last year, it was snowing and it was icy and I couldn't take the truck out. So this November is completely different. It's more like October. It's like in the 40s and 50s and no snow and just rain. So I'm hoping that lasts for a little bit longer, because it's much easier to get the truck around when it's like this weather is supposed to ice and snow like it was last year. So this time last year, I couldn't drive. I think I couldn't do any jobs until like later towards the month, and then it snowed again, and then December was just completely snowed out. So, and I had to wait till like December before the snow, January before it's starting to lighten up on the snow. So I feel fortunate that at least I have the rest of this next 2 weeks of really nice weather. So I'm going to market, and get as many jobs as I possibly can, and build up for that winter savings. So when I'm not able to work, I have that money to pay bills. So, hey, buddy. Anyway, well, hope everyone's doing great out there, and being prosperous and getting lots of work and all that. It's Good Attitude Services, 10 Foot Trucks, signing out.